Buenas and half a day, and mabuhay, everyone. Happy Philippine Independence Month. I'd like to welcome all of you to our Guam Congress building. I'm very honored to be joined by my colleagues here today, Speaker Therese Terlahi, Senator Joe San Augustine, Senator Sabina Perez, and Senator Jim Moylan. Thank you very much, colleagues, for being here today. And I'd also like to recognize the consul from the Philippine Consulate, Ferdinand Flores, and Miss Ruby Fernandez. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, our partners at the Filipino Community of Guam. Welcome everyone to your executive board and your members. Thank you for joining us here today at the Guam Congress Building to celebrate Philippine Independence Month. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment of silence to honor the life of former Philippine President Ninoy Aquino III, who passed away on June 24, 2021. Thank you very much. And we thank him and his family for their years of service to the Filipino people. Today and throughout this month, there's so much to celebrate. The 67th year anniversary of the Filipino Community of Guam, the 123rd year anniversary of Philippine Independence, and the 75th year of U.S.-Philippine diplomatic relations. I know that Filipinos across the globe now celebrate Philippine independence for a whole month because these celebrations help with homesickness, which of course have only been exacerbated by this pandemic, with travel restrictions established here on Guam and at home in the Philippines. But despite the difficulties that this past year has brought us, I'm very grateful that we're able to celebrate here safely and with all of the virtual events that have been happening, especially hosted by the consulate and your organization. And I'm also thankful for the many contributions of our 50,000 strong Filipino community on the island of Guam and throughout the pandemic, and many of our Filipino brothers and sisters who are working at the front lines here on our island to serve our community, to keep our island afloat, our economy afloat, and our people healthy. We can also recall our shared history, as the Philippine Consulate's website says. Upon the liberation of Guam from Japanese occupation in 1944, the U.S. Navy turned to the Philippines for skilled manpower to help in the immediate rehabilitation and reconstruction of Guam. Filipino workers came in droves to perform all kinds of work. At one time, there were around 20,000 Philippine workers here on island. This is all a testament to our shared history and culture, that in the face of crisis, we can find help and solace in each other to tackle the challenges ahead and rebuild and recover together. I want to especially thank the Filipino Community of Guam, Guam's umbrella organization of 65 member Filipino organizations, for their partnership for 67 years, for always lending a helping hand in times of need and being partners for progress here on Guam. Siduas Masi, maraming salamat po. And as a token of our appreciation from the 36th Guam Legislature, we'd like to present resolution number 119-36. And I'd like to ask my colleagues to help me read this resolution.
Be it resolved by Emina 26 na Legislature in Guahan, whereas the Filipino Community of Guam is one of Guam's most outstanding nonprofit, philanthropic, civic organizations, and it is celebrating its 67th year anniversary as one of our island's most active and well-known groups that never fails to lend a hand to assist those in need. And it is the parent organization of 65 member organizations. And whereas the FCG officers are James M. Robinson, President, Patrick Lucis, First Vice President, Linda Kaasi, Second Vice President, Kay Lee Custodio, Third Vice President, Edna Rabanal, Secretary, Blanca Imbo, Assistant Secretary, Elizabeth Sena, Treasurer, Luisa Kabuhat, Assistant Treasurer, William De La Peña, Auditor, Frank Huelar, Public Relations Officer, Nilfa Milan, Peace Officer, Emerson Uy Ordonez, Peace Officer, and whereas the FCG Board of Trustees are Mark V. Pangilinan, Chairman Emeritus. Emilio Uy, Emeritus. Nito Baldovino, Chairperson. Attorney Daniel Manuel, Vice Chairman. Norman Analista, Member. Emmanuel Noli Kaluak, Member. Leah Beth Naholawa, Member. Roy Salvador Adonai, Member. Monito S. Ko, Member. Richard D. Behag, Member. Sabina R. Tamangdong, Member.
Whereas the fine FCG officers and Board of Trustees have been successfully carrying on the traditions of the FCG and the Filipino people, recognizing the strong and growing interdependence that exists among the rich diversity of cultures of Guam and actively promoting civic, social, moral issues for everyone who lives on our beautiful island. And whereas the FCG has responded to calamities that have plagued our fellow Filipinos in the Philippines, as well as in our neighboring islands of Saipan, by mobilizing the community of Guam in raising significant amounts of money in kind donations of clothing, blankets, mattresses, toiletries, canned goods, and other non-perishable goods, medicine and medical equipment. And
whereas the FCG has also contributed to the undertaking of several community projects on Guam, including the establishment of the Guam Heroes Memorial Park and the statue of the late Archbishop Felix Berto Flores, and has contributed to the refurbishment of picnic shelters of the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park in Ipao Beach for the betterment of the community. And whereas the FCG has made several sizable monetary contributions to the island, including donations to the Guam Museum Foundation, to the Guam Memorial Hospital Volunteers Association, and the University of Guam School of Education, to name a few. And
whereas throughout its 67 years of existence, the FCG has contributed to the countless numbers of projects that have improved the quality of life on Guam, and it continues to foster camaraderie within its membership organizations in offering gratitude to an island that has been generous to them. And whereas COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way communities across the globe celebrate historical milestones, and this year the Filipino community on Guam has been invited by the Philippine Consulate General in Agana to commemorate the 123rd anniversary of the proclamation of the Philippine Independence via several online events and various other historical commemorations. Now therefore be it
resolved that Iminay 36 na Legislature Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the officers and Board of Trustees of the Filipino Community of Guam for their continued commitment and devotion to the people and island of Guam, and commend the FCG for keeping the Philippine culture and pride strong among the Filipinos of our island community, and congratulate the FCG on the occasion of its 67th year anniversary and the 123rd year anniversary of Philippine independence. And be it further resolved that the Speaker certify and the Legislative Secretary attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be given to the President, Mr. James Robinson of the Filipino Community of Guam, and to the Honorable Patrick John Hilado, Consulate General of the Philippines in Agana, Guam, and the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero y Magahagan Guahan. So, Mr. Robinson and Consul, please come up. Let me give it to James. Good morning, Consul Flores. Thank you for joining us this morning. On behalf of the people of Guam. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll take one photo, and then
And the president is getting his retirement from the court. Okay. For me, I have no problem. I'm vaccinated, so I'm good. Are you all vaccinated? You're all vaccinated, and
I'd like to invite Consul Ferdinand Flores to deliver a few remarks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just have to bring this out a little bit. Sorry. On behalf of Consul General Patrick John Hilado of the Philippine Consulate General in Guam, would like to extend our gratitude to Senator Amanda Shelton for Resolution number 119-36 for recognizing almost 70 years of FCG civic commitments and devotion to the people in the island of Guam and for keeping Philippine culture and pride of both our peoples. Congratulations also to Mr. James Robinson as head of the Filipino Community of Guam. We know personally the strength of any body emanates from a very decisive head and a very strong membership. The 70 years, almost 70 years of FCG is almost as old as the Philippine Consulate. Can you imagine that? We're almost the same age. And a few years shy of the 75 years of the Philippine-US diplomatic relations. So how do you embrace almost 70 years of commitment, of contribution to the community, of community building? And today, we are recognizing such. But not just your work, but also the inspiration to the new members of FCG and the new generation of Filipino Americans who will all replace us at some point. Beyond government and bureaucracies, the strength of any relation is really people to people, and we know that for a fact. From roots to values, from our so-called Inafamaolek to Bayanihan, Guam, FCG, and the people of the government of Guam is really the best example of our strong people-to-people relations. FCG remains as one of the best examples of the positive impact of Filipino diaspora. Let it sink in. You're one of the best examples of the positive impact of Filipino diaspora. Let it sink in. As we always say, citizenship may be a matter of law, but community work, devotion to other people is a matter of choice. So thank you for almost 70 years of community work, of positive impact to the people in the island of Guam. Si Jus Maase, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much, Senator Shelton and the members of the 36th Guam Legislature. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Consul Flores. And now the President of the Community of Guam, Mr. James Robinson.
Thank you, Senator Shelton, Speaker, Senator Moylan, Senator Perez, Senator San Agustin, Consul, my fellow officers, Madam Chair of the Board of Trustees, Nita Baldomino, my wife. Yes. With great humility, thank you so much for inviting us to this prestigious body, Senator Shelton, and recognizing the achievement of the Filipinos in Guam for so many years. I hope this partnership with the legislature and the executive branch will continue so that we can continue to do what we are supposed to be doing, helping what we can do to help our beautiful island of Guam. Island of Guam we all call home. On behalf of the FCG officers, maraming salamat po for inviting us here. And hopefully, like I said earlier, we will continue what we will do for the benefit of the island. And hopefully, in the near future, we will be allowed to get together 100%, because I heard that in the newspaper that the governor might declare 100% and open mass. And who knows, we can celebrate our next anniversary in October with all the senators and the Guam legislature and all those people that want to attend, because we usually have 500 people in our anniversary. So let's pray that this COVID will disappear as soon as possible, and let's enjoy what we have in life. Thank you so much, and si Diyos masi. And can I say some more? I used to roam this place. I worked here at the Guam Legislature for almost 10 years. During the times of Speaker San Agustin, Santos, Senator Durkin, the old-timers, Parkinsons, Governor Gutierrez, Governor Ada, and the rest. They're all gone. Some of them are gone. Ariula, Lujan, on Pinko, or the old-timers that I remember. Shelton, of course, Senator Shelton, of course. Yeah, I was with them. I know all of them. We all know each other. Those are my generation. 70s with a beautiful gray hair. Beautiful gray hair. And compared to what we have, before, the only problem that before compared to now, the only thing that we have advantages, and now, we don't have problem about money. No one is complaining about money because there's money. So the only problem that we have before is we have an old building, and the only one that holds the floor of the building is carpet. But of course, we still did what we had to do, and very enjoyable. And then I left the legislature and went to the Judiciary of Guam, the Marshal Division, where I retired. So thank you so much again, and maraming salamat po.
But never really retired, Mr. Robinson, because the FCG is keeping you very busy, I'm sure. So I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone for being here today, and wish everyone watching us at home a very happy Philippine Independence Month. Mabuhay, Siduos Masi. Thank you very much, everyone.